Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on the globe. I'm making a globe. Hey, bringing to you the by the minute, the fluff, the raw, and sometimes the raw. So, this week's fur we are going to talk about now. I'm just going to get the name sorted out, obviously. That's a problem. I don't like it when it's not accurate, because it ought to be my name, isn't it? So hopefully everybody's doing well. We've got a little bit of an update today on the wounded horse in New York. So it's good news though, actually. And hopefully there's more good news to come about from this incident, because you don't want this to go, like this horse was hurt in vain, obviously. And I got a lot of attention to what's been going on in New York City with the horse-drawn carriages, which is absolutely ridiculous. That is still going on. I mean, the Gilded Age is over, right? I mean, who's really coming here for the horse and carriage ride? This ain't Home Alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like New York is what it used to be in terms of, oh, you go to New York, you go to the World Trade Center. I mean, right? You go to New York, you go to what? The Empire State Building. But nobody's saying I've got to go to New York to go to a horse-drawn carriage in Central Park. I don't think that's happening. I really don't. I'm not trying to be like flip or nothing, but I really don't think that's what's going on right now. Like people are, saying, oh, I'm going to New York, I absolutely have to do a horse-drawn carriage ride. Absolutely not. I think the only thing that's happening right now, perhaps the only people that are using them is maybe people that want to propose. But I think a one-off, right? You go to a specialty place, you rent an actual horse-drawn carriage, it meets you at Central Park. I mean, there are stables in New York City itself. You don't have to go to a farm or anything. And then you do the little proposal thing, and that's it. Otherwise, the horse is what? Spending its life eating and chewing, ruminating, whatever they do, grass. And that's all they should be doing, to be honest. That's really all they should be doing. So that's basically what we're talking about today. And let me get the actual footage of that. So this is what they've been saying. Why this keeps moving about. Oh, all right. So this was what they were saying. So the New York Post this week, they were saying that the horse that collapsed around, it was the 10th of August. His name is Ryder, and we talked about that. The first time we talked about was two live streams ago, and then we had an update last week saying that he'd been tested and he had like, what would you call that? What was that? An equine disease. What is that called? I'm sorry. Anyway, it's an equine disease that you got from eating grass that had possum poop in it, and then it gave him a neurological disease. I forget the name. It's quite scientific. But look at the horse. Look at Ryder. So he's now retired, and they'd said, and I found out also what I'd updated you guys in the last live stream, was that he was like twice the age it had been said that he was. So that's another thing. And so now he's in upstate New York in retirement, as he should be. Look how emaciated he is. It is ridiculous that they're doing that. Obviously, I need to try this. I don't know why I didn't put the outside on, just so I can see, so I can hear myself. How am I going to hear myself? Is it worth it? Well, I didn't test the sound. But anyway, so look at that. He's emaciated. He's not doing well, right? He's like, I'm on my last leg. He's expecting me to work. I collapsed in the spot and I've got a disease. Can I just relax for a minute? I'm a being, a sentient being. This is what Ryder is saying. Can you hear Ryder speak to you? All right, look at them eyes. Look at them eyes. Glassy, just weary, tired. I don't understand what it's going to take for them to stop and ban this horse and carriage thing, because obviously if they've done it right, I'm not saying that it's something that's to be bemoaned. I think a horse can handle an hour on a pavement if it's got a good horseshoe, right? An hour. And on an off day, not every single day, but an off day, he's like, oh, we're doing an hour, are we? Yeah, I can do it. Not a problem. It gives him a little bit of a breather. He gets to do something different for the day. Usually all he's doing is hanging out in the stable, eating grass, ruminating, and that's it. Do you understand? And I feel like that's a great compromise. You really want this animal. You really want this animal. You really need to propose. You really need to have this happen. Well, then pay the big bucks for it. It's worth it. Pay the big bucks for it. This way, he's only doing this a couple of times, maybe several times a year. Definitely not when it's too hot. They've got rules. They ought to have rules. When it's not, it can't be when it's too hot. It can't be when it's cold. It's got to be the perfect temperature that makes that particular horse comfortable. So if you know that Ryder does not like rain, do not make Ryder walk in the rain. It's that simple. I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is. Anyway, so he's an upstate. He's well retired, and I think that's great. And yeah, here's another picture of when he was, look at him right here, right? When he was collapsed. Luckily, the NYPD, mounted police, were able to cool him off with a hose. But what happened otherwise, right? Anyway, and I think the biggest problem really was that he was not being treated right. I think that was the biggest problem. It was really not being treated right. It was being abused. And, you know, you never want that. I really wanted to show you all this. This is the one thing I wanted to show. And I know this is graphic, so it's coming up. It's graphic if you do not like to see abused animals. And I feel like it's important, even if you have, you know, children that are old enough, they should learn that, you know, animals get hurt and feel pain, and they ought to be treated with care and love and all sorts of respect. And so look at the scarring. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? Look. Look. Look at this. Look at that. That was when we just left from having fallen. Yeah, and here's what they're saying. City officials said carriage horses cannot be younger than 5 years old and when they start to work, and they also can't work past 26. Do you know that he was 28 years old? He is 28 years old. And they said he was 13 years old, which is a lie. A flat out, blatant lie. All right, so what's good about it is that this week there've been, well, for the past 2 weeks, there've been marches, protests to ban horse-drawn carriages in New York City. So please, people, talk to your local officials. This cannot continue happening. If you live in New York, please do something about that. So for the past 2 weeks, I've added the link to the change.org petition that would ban horse-drawn carriages in New York City. So if you're inclined, if you're sensitive about the subject and you want things to change, then go ahead, click on the link. That's going to be in the profile, and you'll click on that in the description, and then, hopefully things will change. We want change, We want things to be different, because look at this. Like, if I've got to work past a certain age, are you kidding me? I'll slip my own wrist. Tell me I've got to keep going on when my body says it can't go on. That's ridiculous. It's one thing if I've said, you know what, I'm going to keep going because I love doing this, but it's another thing. So I'm going to like the bands to be a little bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to complain about not having a actual hair person or makeup person. Do you know what I went through? I was supposed to be here maybe like 35 minutes ago, but I had to do my own makeup, my own hair. Not complaining. So we'll move on. Now, so we've talked about Ryder. Good luck to you, Ryder. We're hoping that all is well for you and that you're happy wherever it is that you are in upstate New York and that they're treating you well. All right, so now we've got a story for you. Check this out. Between you and your dog, who's training who? Well, CBS has an answer to that. CBS 3, that is. So let's check this out. So I'm going to share it. Let's see what they're saying. Let's stop this. Let me make sure I get this one. All right. So basically,
train you. When we take them on walks, they are usually leading us because, they're big girls, about 160 pounds. So just kind of got to go with it.
That's right. And they can be as little as a chihuahua and they're still training you. Marvin and Fred, my two dogs, have really worked with me. I'm apparently a very good learner because they have trained me to do their bidding. And it's a game that my dog Fred developed. They would bring a ball to me while I was eating, and then I'd go, okay, well, I'm eating, I'm not going to entertain you too, and I'd throw it. Then he would take it 1 or 2 times, then he would drop it. And then he would look at me, and Marvin would look at me, and then Marvin would start barking. And then we set up, me getting up, going to the refrigerator. Well, I only had to get to the carrot. That only had to go on 1 or 2 times before I knew the game. The ball comes over, and drops it, and doesn't want to catch it. Marvin starts barking because he picked up the cue from Fred. Time to get me up and get on the carrot. So it's a way that they have trained me. And I have absolutely no problem with a dog training a person because I think it works on the bond that it can go both ways. Let me show you a couple of animals doing the very same thing, and perhaps you find that your dogs are training you. And if you are open to what they're doing and trying to teach you, I think you will find that they are.
All right, let me tell you something about them. I've got opinions. Did you see that? Did you see the way that dog looked at her? That dog said, I've just thrown you the ball. Get with it. Hello. What's you waiting for? Get with it. Yeah. See, not happening. No. See, Méganne is not going to be trained by no dog. No. All right. I've got a problem with that. I don't care what you other people say. I'm a dog lover. I'm an animal lover. I'm an animal, like, I adore, like, I can't tell you how much I love them. But there is no way that a dog is training me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all kinds of wrong. Seriously. That dog throwing the ball, looking at you like, what, like, are you mad? Are you slow? You see that dog's face? No, I'm not with it. But I would definitely have the dog be like waiting for the ball. That's different. But he had that particular look like, what's wrong with you? Hurry. And then he looks at the ball like, yeah, do you not understand? No, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. But he had a little bit of an attitude. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So when you've got your dog training you and they've got a little bit of an attitude, because that's what's going to happen. Obviously, that's what's going to happen. If the dog is like, I'm training this human being, it's going to have a little bit of an attitude. It's going to be a little bit arrogant. To understand? And that arrogance is what I'm not dealing with. I've literally brought you into my own. I fed you. Sometimes I have to go through your poop to see what's wrong. Yeah. Or if you've like eaten my jewelry, I've got to wait for it to pass, whatever. Stuff like that. And at the end of the day, you ain't training me, little one. No, you're not. That's just my piece. Right? You all can feel differently. And if you've got a comment, you've got something to say about it, go ahead. I don't have a problem. But yeah, you freaking to train me. You watch your mind. All right. So now we've got another story. This one, right? What is happening here? So this one's straight out of Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, I can't imagine this happening at all, you know? So as much as I love animals, all sorts of animals, I'm definitely very careful with wild animals, squirrels, gangster. Squirrels, them, they gangster. So I you know, raccoons, all them animals that you look at them and they're real cute and all, but you know, it's just waiting for an opportunity. Just waiting for an opportunity to sort of like come upon you, and I ain't having it. No, I ain't having it. So it's really late. It took longer than I wanted to, so I'm a bit like prickly, innit? I'm a bit prickly tonight, innit? So yeah, man. All right, so this one, ooh, guess which animal went rabid on this woman? I was like, couldn't be me. Could not be me. Let me tell you something. First of all, I'm not looking at you like you're cute. If you ain't no dog that I know, if you ain't no cat that I know, I'm not looking at you like you're cute. Do you understand? If I don't know you, you ain't cute to me. I'm not approaching and going, oh, hello. No, you is wild. You is wild. All right? Gotta get straight. You really do. When you talk about them wild animals, you get gangster. As soon as I talk about wild animals, I can't help it. You was wild, man. Nah, I ain't doing it. Check this out. Check this woman out. I was like, oh, goddamn. Around here. Child. It's a goddamn promotion. Retirement. Well, you know, I should have played the commercial and then gone straight to, that's what I should have done. Well, you've got me hungry. Got me hungry. Look at all them. Look at all them. Instacart. So they can sponsor me. Maybe I can get her person. Oh, Look at this. So she's on the phone. No, she's drinking something. Oh no, what's she doing? Oh, it came up on her. Okay, move. What? Run. Run. Why ain't you running? Look at it. Oh, she kicks it, but you keep kicking it, but you're not running out. You're not running away. Oh, fucking hell, silly. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, wow. It's like on it. On her. I'm assuming that's the husband or the neighbour or something. Oh, that's not funny too. Oh my God, we got a real good. See, yeah, I'm not. Like I said, first of all, I ain't living in my mind. Do you understand? First off, I'm looking at what the phone is looking at. It's looking like wherever I'm living. Are you talking about bears? Nah. You're talking about foxes? Nah. Not doing it. I'm a city girl. Do you understand? That's why. Then people are talking about, oh, my dog fell in the lake. You're out your mind. Not happening. If he's falling somewhere, it's a fountain, all right? And he's picking up pennies. And it's like this much water. It's not, no lakes, no rivers, no, none of that stuff. How do you mind? How do you mind? No, that's not happening. So yeah, them one of them things that I really, I can't do. So now there's that. All right. I hope she's all right. And I should have looked into it. I got really into like the whole story, but I have no idea if she's all right. All right, let's read the rest of it. What does it say? Does it say she's all right? Says she was attacked, and then comes around, steps back, kicks it, advised to bite her. A loose shoe, the animal then backflips, lands on its back. Yeah, we saw that. It's like an agile little animal. It was eventually killed after attacking another person in the area. Oh, according to the New York Post, the fox was then taken to a laboratory in Cornell University. Oh, and where it was confirmed that it had rabies. Well, that's absolutely, you've got to have rabies, gone rabid, for you to go through all them lengths, right? This is what the lady said. She says, it was a beautiful animal and I didn't want to hurt it. The woman was quoted in the footage of her attacking the fox. Unfortunately, I had no choice but to fight back because I couldn't get away. I know, I sound like I'm victim blaming. Damn it, yes I am. All right, you kick the damn thing and you run. All right, you run. Why is it that if she's living in like the jungle, Cornell University, where is that? That's in New York somewhere, right? She's living like in the jungle, right? Why ain't you got a stick? You should be outside with a stick. And people, I don't understand. Never thought this was going to happen. So now we've got, all right. Oh, this story. This one's really bad. I don't know about you, but a lot of people are not paying attention to where their dogs are walking. And you really have to pay attention to what your dogs are ingesting on their walks. There are people that are like, oh, what you got there? What you got there, little one? What you got there? Oh, is that? No, you don't just go, what? You stick your hand in that muzzle. Do you understand? You stick your hand in there. You wanted it. You wanted it. You knew that. I don't know the difference between a leaf and a goddamn whatever crack pipe. So you wanted it. So you need to put your hand in there and then extract whatever it is. Don't be like, oh, was that a leaf? Don't ask it what he's got in his muzzle. Him can't tell you. All right? Well, it's late. I'm annoyed. It's clearly It's late and I'm annoyed. I don't know what's going on. That's all right. So let me get that one for you. It's upsetting. Like, the fact that this is happening is lovely. Oh, no, that's not right. Stop the show. Sometimes things just sort of creep up, innit? Share the screen. Right, there we go. So this is from Fox News, and let's see if you guys can hear this. Six. Well,
Ready to start eating healthy? To meet the child.
Here's that. Just play that out. Yeah, so a woman was walking her dog in California and allegedly ingested a dose of oxycodone and became blind. Joy Burns was walking her dogs along Ocean Avenue, Santa Monica, last week when she noticed one of them, a 15-pound named Chance the Rapper, was breathing heavily before eventually collapsing. And we got no chance, not a good chance. Yeah, when are you trying to do that? Oh my gosh, I must have missed the whole thing. Sorry about that. Anyway, so a 15-pound creature named Chance the Rapper was breathing heavily before eventually collapsing. They said they needed to immediately ice his body and give him oxygen and start an IV. And that's when I looked at the vet and I said, is he going to live? I really don't know. So is Chance the Rapper, all right? And so pay attention to what the symptoms are. So the veterinarian told her the dog had a fever of 106 degrees, all right? She was told that her dog had somehow ingested oxycodone and overdosed. So the dog's symptoms were treated and he was able to go home with his own the following day. Like, what? Yeah, look at this cute little face. Overdosing on drugs, oxycodone. Is he going to have a habit? Is he going to be famous for it? That's the question we ought to be asking. So the oxycodone was the only unusual substance discovered in the dog's system, Burns said. If I could give a message to people, it's to know your surroundings and know where to go. The dog has recently had a additional test, and he does some activities in his retina, and he may not completely be blind. But still, it was fine before. Now he's kind of blind. I don't know. Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm seeing here, dog infected with monkeypox after sharing bed. We talked about this last week. We did an update. And licking owners. I've got a message. I've got something to say about this. Yeah, I've got a message. All right, let me speak to the dogs of the world, the pets of the world, the pets all over the world, the pets that are globally, possibly watching me. I know I've got some animal fans here. Listen to me. If you notice that your parent, right, any parent, any family, friends, staff, whatever, whatever it is that likes to touch you and pet you and feed you, if you notice lesions, listen to me carefully, all right? If you notice lesions on that human being, stay away. Do not lick that human. Do not tell yourself that is a diseased human being. I don't know where he's been. Not to say that monkeypox is something that people get from their dog. I'm not saying. I'm just saying from a dog or cat perspective. There haven't been cats yet, but so far it's been a dog that's had monkeypox. From a dog's perspective, that is not something that you want to get. Do you understand, doggy? Cats, they're like, I don't like you anyway. Where's my food? So I'm not worried about cats. Cats can take care of them. And on that subject, I watched this movie about cats on Netflix, right? It was quite interesting. Let me tell you what the name is. I watched this movie about cats on Netflix, and it was Inside a Cat's Mind. And let me tell you, they're not as dumb as people think they are. I learned so much from this. I really, really, really did. And I'm glad I watched it, because at the end of the day, for some reason I'm not able to get into my notes. I took some notes, and it's not letting me in. What's going on? What's going on? All right, so the good news is that, what the hell? So I did this for nothing. You know what? I hate you. I really, 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 really do. I don't understand why it is that I'm having a difficult time. Anyway, so you really ought to watch it, even if you're just a dog lover. I'm just as if like it's not enough. But if you're a dog lover and you've always wondered about cats, I think it's still a valid movie to watch. It's a documentary. And what's really good about it is that they've experimented. They've done studies. And so, as we all know, most of the studies have been done on dogs in terms of their agility, their intelligence, and what they understand, the commands, all of that. And so what they did now is that they did this with cats. And it was really cool, spoiler alert, because I really don't care. Okay, so I want to talk about it. What was really cool, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but you know, now that I can't get into my notes, for whatever reason, I'll take the time to bloody take notes on something that I watched. What we did there. And I can't access it. Anyway, so the real good thing about this is that you learn. I'm not going to say everything. I'm not going to spoil it completely for you. But you learn that they are comparable to dogs. The only difference is it requires a little bit more patience. And I think what's inside a cat's mind is that, you know, human, you are mine. I'm not yours. So fetch me my food. And whereas the dog is more like, oh, human, thank you. Thank you for taking me in. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And with a cat, you've got to work for its affection. It won't give it to you right away. You've got to work for it. Just like to train a cat, it's a lot longer. You've got to have more patience. And their attention span is much shorter than a dog. And so you literally can't work with a cat for more than some 5 seconds. Give it a little treat, and you do the little click, click, click thing. And then you do it for 5 seconds and you've got to stop because it's like, you know what, I've got to climb this over there. So that's the interesting part. And another thing that I thought was really interesting is that I think they said 2017. By 2017, cats had taken over Japan as the #1 pet. The #1 pet. And I think, you know what, it makes sense. And the only reason I'm saying this is because a lot of buildings do not accept dogs, but they will accept cats. And I believe that's because of the whole rodent situation, right? And you do understand that cats are like one of the biggest predators. They didn't talk about that in the thing, but cats are very close to their wild past ancestors. In fact, having a cat is like having a wild animal that sort of likes you, because you never know what it's going to do, really. You really don't. But it was interesting to know that they're pretty smart, and as smart. They can do tricks as dogs. They can do tricks and all of that. And now what's also interesting is there was a question posed. Now, do cats really love you? Now they asked about dogs. They said, yeah, dogs do. That you get that feeling that they really do love you, right? And it's unconditional. Whereas cats, it's the closest they can get to love, whatever it is that they feel. It is akin to love. That's what the woman said. Akin to love. And I thought that was apropos, because I mean, like, cats, what I like about cats, it's like they won't bother you if you don't bother them. But you know what's interesting? If you hate cats, like, I mean, if you cannot stand cats, it will come for you. Yeah. It will make you love it. So basically, a cat is like a woman with daddy issues, really. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what a cat is. I mean, really, he's like, what? You don't like me? Well, I'm going to work hard for you to like me. This is not straight. I'm going to work hard for you to like me. What? You're ignoring. Let me wrap myself around your legs and my tail around your legs. That's a cat. Yeah. When you want a cat to give you a little bit of attention, you've got to ignore it. Kind of like how you do with men, right? If you want them to give you a little bit of attention, not all men. Cats are arrogant. If you're with an arrogant man, do not give him attention. Let him come to you. Same thing as cats. So it's very simple. I don't see what the big deal is. A lot of people think, oh, I don't know what to do with that. Well, treat him like a man who's ignoring you. Really? Just don't give him any attention. He's going to be all over you. It's that simple. And so there we have it with the whole cat situation. And now, maybe a little bit of news about, bird flu kills 700 black vultures, and it closes the animal sanctuary. So this is in Locust Grove, Georgia. So the bird flu has killed hundreds of wild black vultures at a Georgia sanctuary that houses more than 1,500 other animals. And so no other birds at Noah's Ark, which is the name of the sanctuary, have tested positive for or shown symptoms of the highly pathogenic H5N1 strain. So at this point, an outbreak of the virus has led to the deaths of 40 million chickens and turkeys and about 2,000 wild birds this year, right? This is from ABC News. Now, I just thought it was important to sort of talk about the other animals that are affected by the bird flu situation. So not only do animals have to be careful about the monkeypox, we've got bird flu. Now it says here, some places, all our chickens were euthanized yesterday and our turkeys and our guinea hens. Yeah. Wow. That's too bad. The station reported the sanctuary is home to more than 500 birds. Those include an ostrich, emus, and peacock, 2 sandhill cranes, cockatoos, and Eurasian eagle owl. So Noah's Ark is in Locust Grove, Georgia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the information for Noah's Ark. Maybe they've got information if you want to donate, if you want to, if they've got some sort of page or GoFundMe or something. I'm going to look that up and I will put a link in the description box so that you guys can help out Noah's Ark, because obviously they need all the help they can get. I mean, to have lost oof, I mean, it's a sanctuary. So typically, these are rescues, right? So, yeah, it's not like they want to replenish. But okay, I shouldn't. This is sad. It's not like they're trying to replenish. I'm just saying it's like maybe they need to sanitize, maybe they need to buy new equipment or something, and it's going to cost them money. So maybe there's a way for people to donate. And so that's what I'm going to do, is find a link that perhaps answers those questions, you know. And I think that's it for this week's news, right? Oh, there's one more. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Now, guess what? Have you seen this TikTok where it's either TikTok or IG, any social media platform, where something's going on and then the dog's got tears and it's crying, and I was like, oh, added the tears. Like, I can understand the or the whatever, right? But the actual like tears coming out of their eyes, I was like, nah, that ain't happening. Well, check this out. Apparently, it is too happening. I had no clue. I was like thinking I knew everything, but I clearly don't know everything. So let's look at this headline from, who is it from? From BBC. This is from the BBC, and they're saying that dogs actually produce tears. What? Game changer. Total game changer. No clue. I had no clue that dogs, it says here, look at this cute one. Dogs can cry tears of joy when they are reunited with their owners. Oh, tears of joy. Okay. Maybe they don't cry tears of sadness. A small study has found. So they say the canines may be genuinely thrilled when they see their human companions, especially if they've been gone for a long time, right? According to Japanese researchers. So their tears are believed to deepen the bond between dogs and their owners. So that study is based on behavior of 22 dogs, because that's all it takes to get a study out and to then get the results, right? And they looked at the reactions of the dogs who were reunited with their owners and with other people they knew. Wow. So what they did was they placed strips of paper under the eyes of the dogs during normal interaction with their owners, and a minute before they were reunited with them after 5 to 7 hours of separation. They discovered, I'm literally reading the whole thing, they discovered when the dogs saw their owners, it was the only time they shed tears. There was not the same level of increased tear production when the dogs were reunited with the people they were familiar with, but were not their owners. More tears for the owners. I should hope so. I mean, I'm clothing you, I'm feeding you. I swear to God, if that dog produced more tears for a familiar, I'd be pissed. You're not cheap, you know. And so after they used the hormone, they found that the dog's tears significantly increased. So while dogs are known to cry to keep their tear ducts clean, it has not been linked to their emotional response before. So this is a new discovery. Look at that. So you may be more familiar with the tail wagging or that gaze that they do when they give you the puppy eyes, but they have actual secretion and tears that come out. Does it really mean the same thing, really? They say their tears might play a role in the deepening of mutual relationships and further leading to interspecies bonding. That's sweet. No, it really is. It really is. But like I said, if that dog had been known to produce tears for just a familiar, I'd be pissed. I'd be right pissed. Seriously, I'd be like, yo, familiar, since you're producing more tears for that familiar can take you home. Yeah. Familiar can take you home. But anyway, Well, that's it for me, you know. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on the globe. I'm Méganne, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our week's worth of news. And yeah, this was a little bit of a doozy, yeah, and it's late. It's really, really, really late. But yeah, who knows? I think that a lot of people are sort of staying up late these days. I mean, it is still summer, and you kind of want to sort of hold on to it a little bit before the little ones go back to school and before things get a little bit more serious, I'm sure. And so definitely really excited about this whole situation in terms of, you know, just the weather, just everything. Being with you guys, well, absolutely nobody. So I've been doing this late. I'm going to start doing this a little bit more early so that I can actually speak to one of you. But thank you so much. Like I said, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are on the globe. It's been nice.